everyone, and welcome to a brand new series we call the VIVE Metaverse series. And this is a topic that HTC VIVE has been excited to talk about for years and years as we've been preparing to build all the components of the upcoming metaverse. And we feel like now it's finally ready because of how the world is becoming more and more ready to understand and consume this idea of the metaverse. And so we're going to talk about some basic things about like, what is the metaverse? What does it consist of? What are the components? What makes a great metaverse? All the different possible features of where the metaverse could go. And of course, it's a big topic, so we're going to have to cover it over a variety of videos, but I'm very excited to tackle that. I have been very excited on the metaverse journey because since 2005, I actually started my first virtual world company. I've been a pioneer in the gamification space. I've done blockchain projects with the co-founder Ethereum. Of course, I help HTC VIVE do VR stuff. And so if you think about how all these come together, it's really becomes what we call the metaverse. It's very, very exciting. And when we ask like, what is the metaverse? I think it's a confusing topic, right? Because a lot of different companies say different things about what is the metaverse. And if you ask a VR company will often say, oh, a metaverse is this virtual environment where you experience in VR. And some people say it has to be in VR. If it's not in VR, it's not the metaverse. You can understand if it's like applying to Ready Player One, right? Ready Player One, that oasis is definitely, you have to experience in VR. But if you're interacting with let's say a 3D gaming company, they will say, hey, the metaverse is a 3D virtual world and it doesn't have to be VR, right? As long as it's 3D, can explore and it's persistent, then it's the metaverse. And then if you talk to some NFT companies, they'll tell you, oh, the metaverse is items and ownership that's persistent, that interoperable, that can go from places to places, right? And it's just like, they all talk about different things. So what is the metaverse? In the Chinese, there's a saying, blind people feeling out of elephants. So if you're a blind person, if you've never seen an elephant, you're trying to figure it out, maybe one blind person touches the trunk and say, oh, an elephant's feel is like a snake. Some people touches their legs like, oh, it's like a pillar. Some people touch their stomach and it's like, oh, an elephant is like a wall, right? And it's just all of these things are components of the elephant, and what it is actually all comes together to become the elephant. That's just like the metaverse. The metaverse has many, many different components, and all of it come together to become the metaverse. The cool thing is HTC VIVE has actually been innovating and creating value in all these spaces long ago because it's anticipating the creation of this metaverse, and we'll talk about what we call the VIVERSE and how these pieces come in, right? HTC VIVE very early on has created custom hardware, custom phones that power blockchain technology. HTC VIVE has also launched things like NFT museums recently. Obviously, VIVE has been a pioneer in VR technologies and all those things. And of course, VIVE 5G is something that HTC is also innovating on, being a leader in the world on, because we believe that the future metaverse needs to be powered by strong, low latency internet, because there's so much 3D content streaming through everyone's daily lives. And so you can see how the HTC vision is seeing that metaverse, but a version called the VIVERSE, and how it can actually transform the future. And so when we think about the big components of the metaverse is really this world that is persistent and is mostly 3D that you can experience. And the key thing is that it's worlds where you can go between, one world to another. So there might be some closed worlds that are just governed by one company, and there's some open worlds that are completely decentralized, just created by community members, and you can go to these worlds. But the key thing is that the interoperability, which is that the items you get in one world can actually be carried into another world. The identity you have, the accomplishments, the things you got in this game can be carried over into another world that's in the metaverse. And so some people call it this many metaverses, and some people call no, all of it comes together to become one metaverse. So again, the terminology, there's still a lot of confusion out there, but I want people to know that the core fundamentals is the same, and I believe it is the inevitable future. But just keep in mind, this is not just digital, right? Because through the blockchain technologies and through the interoperability, you can actually go into the real world. So let's say you get this really awesome angel wings NFT for your avatar in the digital virtual world. But let's say through AR glasses or smartwatches, you take that to the real world and you go to a bar, and then through, again, AR glasses or smartwatch, you demonstrate that you have this, and people are like, wow, okay, you have these special angel wings from this game. You're a VIP member, you can come in for free, right? So, or you're VIP and you can invite your friends to have free beer, right? So that is that level of connection that, hey, something you've earned in one place can actually carry over to another. And this is why the play to earn movement is very big too, because now that the things you do in the game can actually become valuable and carry over to other worlds and other cryptocurrencies, it actually becomes quite valuable, and people are willing to spend money to pay for the things that you spend labor on to acquire. And we also can have a lot of other components like exploring 3D worlds, socializing, hanging out, playing games. But the key thing is all these worlds will come together. And every kingdom, we'll call that, in the metaverse, will have their own rules. Some are just fully free. Some of them, when you go in there, let's say governing company will say, these are the rules, you have to pay certain fees to enter, or these items can come in, but these items cannot. This identities will recognize, but these won't, right? So there will still be rules that apply, but it's almost like passports to go into countries. Before, it was impossible to take these things that from one ecosystem and bring it to another. Now it is finally possible, and now it just depends on who's running these kingdoms and what are the rules and how decentralized it is. But all of that is very, very exciting. Again, it is the inevitable future, I believe. And so we're really excited to constantly innovate, create the different building blocks and pillars to support a better metaverse in the future. And I think from HTC VIVE standpoint, we're not trying to create the one metaverse that governs everything, that controls everything. We want to be a powerful supporter that supports the ecosystem, offering the 5G, right? We're really connected to VR chat, and VR chat is actually what we believe is the closest to a social metaverse compared to every other platform out there. And we want to have the right hardware for people to experience it. We want to have blockchain technology, NFT, so people can enjoy content. HTC VIVE is dedicated to making the metaverse a better future for everyone. And hopefully through the VIVERSE, we're able to create our value and, as I say, make a dent in the universe. But here we call it make a dent in the metaverse, right? But anyway, hopefully that's interesting. There's still lots and lots of questions about the metaverse. Some people still want to know what decentralization means, for instance, or how to design economy. And we're going to, over time, cover some of those. But for now, this is Yu-Kai Chou, and I'll see you guys next time. Signing off.